People don't realise how rare it is to have an exceptional winemaking region in such close proximity to the city. I am Damian Hutton, Chief Winemaker and General Manager of the winery here at Nikola Estate. So the Swan Valley produces beautiful wine. I am sort of a conductor of sorts. So I stand in the middle of a million moving parts, and all it is creating the range of wines in my brain as they appear in the cellar in reality. Creating a product, turning grapes into wine, and different quality and flavour parameters. That's all in my mind at the start. You know, making wine is miraculous, really, when you think about it. You know, crisp, clean, fresh white wines, Chenin Blanc, Modelo, even sparkling. And the reds, you know, we find to be generous, chocolate flavours, beautiful red fruited, to then achieve, by the end of it all, a range of wines that fit every quality and price point that we're after by creating this product. That's basically as simple as it is. Hey guys, this is our Symbolist 2023. It's an experimental blend off the property of Spanish, Portuguese, Italian varieties. And that's what we're sort of trying to evolve here in Nikola, is a very experimental, warm climate range of red wines, because that's exactly where we are at Swan Valley. So we found that these are very well suited to this region. It's unashamedly warm climate. Like we don't pretend it's cool. Varieties that we choose suit a warm climate, so they retain their acidity, they have fruit flavours without elevated sugar levels. Chenin Blanc, Modelo, Grenache, Shiraz, we can grow all these perfectly well, and we've worked out the varieties to grow to suit that climate. All of these are full right now because we're right at the last bit of what we call vintage, so the harvest. We've harvested the fruit, we've turned it into wine, and then all of these are full now. So basically what we work on doing from this point on is turning them into wine that we're happy to bottle in the future. What we're trying to develop at Nikola is a Mediterranean sort of feel, because the valley is pretty much that. We're full of Croatians, full of Italians, and the varieties that come from those home countries actually work well in the valley. So what we've got here is Montepulciano, which is an Italian variety, and here we have Sangiovese. So those sort of varieties we've found work really well in the valley. So we'll come in, set a program, fill the presses or the fermenters with the grapes. So it's basically processing fruit to start with, because we want to get it fresh, clean in the press or in the fermenter as soon as we can. It's tasting the ferments every single day, and at the moment, at the height of vintage, it could be 50. We taste every single one, and in the description of the notes of what we've got to do that day, we then set the program for the working day. So here we are in our 1963 plantings of Chenin Blanc, and what we've recognised on the whole property is that these vines produce our best Chenin Blanc. We realised that after a couple of vintages of sourcing and keeping everything separate initially, and then this one just came up trumps every year. It was sort of like, you know, the quality was there, and then, you know, it's a 1963 planting, so it's over 60 years old now. And so we started to invest a little bit in reworking the canopies and working the soil a little bit for more organic matter, etc. Just so that we make sure we keep them healthy and keep them vibrant. and ensure that we get the crop that we want and also the quality that we need. Swan Valley Old Vine Charter was created to recognise the significance of Old Vine Swan Valley vineyard and its importance in retaining the heritage of the Swan Valley. And obviously they're really deep now into this soil after 60 years, and you can see, you know, the sturdiness of them all, and the fact that they're still very vibrant. So we've harvested these obviously already because we're through the harvest, but yeah, it was really beautiful, and this year's wine is amazing.
We kept them because they're quality and they're important as part of West Australia's history and heritage, not just because they make wine, it's because they're important to West Australians.
Yeah, it's nearly 200 years since we started making wine in the valley, and it's the second oldest in Australia, and in actual fact this is the second oldest continuously run winery in Australia. I'm basically third generation Swan Valley winemaker. My entrance into the wine industry was through the lineage of my family. My grandfather ran the still at Valencia. My uncle ran the vineyards here in the valley for 30 odd years. So halfway through his career, I'd graduated high school and got a job in the vineyard as a kid in my summer holidays. And I crashed a few tractors and ran into some things, and they said, maybe we should transfer your skills to the winery. So I got my first vintage job in 1990. Left here and worked for the sister winery in South Australia for 5 years, studying winemaking in Adelaide. And then came back to West Australia and worked for Millbrook for 18 years, 18 vintages. And then I got asked to do the job back here at Nikola to run the place. So it was 30 odd years since I'd done my first vintage here that I came back. So as a kid who got told to wash everything endlessly, to the guy who tells everyone to wash everything endlessly. So yeah. My favourite way to enjoy a glass of wine in the Swan Valley is, end of the day, grab the team, cold, crisp, untouched, unfiltered glass of perfect Chenin Blanc, just to celebrate what we've got in the valley. Job satisfaction's always been, you make people happy, knowing that at the end of the day, you're going to be able to take something that you love and share it.